To be successful, you have to have your heart in your business and your business in your heart. That's a quote by Thomas Watson Sr. Time is precious, time is money, and this is a time for Money Talk on Atlantic Television Network. Good day, viewers, and welcome to a fresh episode of Atn Business on Atlantic Television Network right here in the city of Port Harcourt. This is a network's medium of bringing happenings in the economic sector of the society to our discerning viewers. This program is aimed at bringing to the doorstep of viewers the business, financial, and economic activities from all strata of society. Its delivery is accentuated through the various stock exchanges across the world. News about government economic activities, private sector business activities, list with experts' opinions, stakeholders' analysis, and correspondence reports. By the end of the show, you can be rest assured of being informed accurately of financial activities around the world. I am your host, Wendy Aguma. Headlines: Nigerian senators' jumbo salaries exposed again. Decline brings relief to Nigerian households. Government introduces housing cooling resale markets. European stocks face mixed opening. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we will out the details. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Now let's go into market reports, local and international business news for today. In 2018, Senator Shehu Sani revealed that Nigerian senators received 13.5 million naira monthly as running costs, in addition to their consolidated salary and allowances. This led to a lawsuit challenging the constitutional validity of their salaries and allowances. The Federal High Court ruled in 2021 that the National Assembly cannot determine its own salaries and allowances, and that the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission is responsible for fixing their remuneration. Despite this ruling, the National Assembly increased senators' salaries and allowances from 14 million to 21 million per month. This was confirmed by Senator Abdurrahman Kawu Semaila, who revealed that he earns approximately 21 million monthly. The National Assembly leadership claimed that the 21 million is the running cost of each senator per month, but this is a careless attempt to deceive Nigerians. The 2024 Appropriation Act does not provide for monthly payment of 21 million naira running costs to every senator, making the payment illegal and unconstitutional. Femi Falana-San has called on the lawmakers to comply with the law, warning that contempt proceedings will be embarked on if they fail to do so. The jumbo emolument of 21 million naira for federal legislators will compound the crisis of inequality in the country, especially after the Minimum Wage Act stipulated 70,000 naira for workers. President Bola Tinubu of Nigeria has sparked outrage by traveling to France on a newly acquired private jet, the Airbus A330 business jet, amid the cost widespread criticism and outrage. Many Nigerians are calling for the president to prioritize their needs and address the economic crisis facing the country. The federal government has empowered over 500 smallholder farmers in Edo State with high-quality tomato seeds to boost production and alleviate the high cost of tomatoes in the state. Samuel Owocho, State Director of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture, distributed the seeds to members of the All Farmers Association of Nigeria. The initiative aims to make Edo State self-sufficient in tomato production, reduce market price, and improve food security nationwide. Owocho encouraged farmers to cultivate tomatoes in the backyard for self-sufficiency and take advantage of the opportunity to improve their livelihoods. The farmers have received training on best practices for tomato cultivation to maximize yield and quality. The Ministry of Agriculture is committed to ensuring that tomato farmers have access to high-quality seeds and inputs. State Chairman of AFAN commended the federal government for the empowerment, noting that the seeds will boost tomato cultivation in the state and reduce dependency on importation. He urged farmers to multiply the seeds effectively and follow guidelines for cultivation to achieve the best results. The initiative is expected to enhance tomato farmers' livelihoods, contribute to the state's agricultural development, and stabilize prices, making tomatoes more affordable for consumers across it. Prices of key staples in Nigeria, including tomatoes, pepper, potato, yam, and gari, are declining across markets as farmers commence harvest, bringing relief to the households and reducing pressure on them. This comes as the country faces one of its worst food crises in decades, with 4.4 million people in the northeast malnourished due to inability to afford a balanced diet. The average price of white gari has declined by 42.5% to 2,300 naira from 4,000 naira sold in July, while a 50 kg bag of white gari is now sold for an average of 65,000 naira as against 75,000 naira in July. Ayobami Utobo, president of the National Cassava Processors and Markets, attributed the sharp decline to the commencement of harvesting of the tuber during the rainy season. Prices of potatoes have also dropped by over 50% as farmers commence harvest of the tubers in key producing states. A paint-up will continue until December. Similarly, prices of tomatoes have declined across the country, with a big basket selling for 59.53% in July from 40.87% in June, its lowest since February 2024. Ahmad, the governor of Adamawa State, has announced the commencement of the 70,000 naira new minimum wage starting August 2024. This move makes him the first governor from the north to approve the new minimum wage. Victory made the announcement in a statement on his ex-civil servant age and more, emphasizing the government's goal of building a prosperous future for all. The new minimum wage was signed into law by President Bola Tinubu's government barely a month ago. The previous minimum wage of 30,000 naira had become unsustainable due to rampant inflation and rising living costs, making the review necessary. With this move, Adamawa State takes the lead in implementing the new minimum wage, setting a precedent for other states to follow. Many states are yet to commit to paying the new minimum wage, leaving workers' monthly pay to continue losing value. The implementation of the new minimum wage in Adamawa State is expected to improve the standard of living for civil servants and boost economic activity in the state. The federal government has reached an agreement with the Dangote Petroleum Refinery to roll out premium motor spirits (PMS) in September 2024. The sale of crude oil to Dangote Refinery and other local refineries will commence on October 1st, 2024 in Naira. The Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, announced this during a meeting with the Implementation Committee on Monday in Abuja. With progress on key initiatives, including the upcoming commencement of Naira payments for crude oil sales to the Dangote Refinery, which is the sole importer of petroleum in Nigeria. The NNPC resells petrol to marketers at below market cost to keep prices low, resulting in significant losses. A litre of petrol sells for about 617 naira at NNPC retail station. Cross-border smuggling. The state oil company recorded an annual profit of 3.3 trillion naira in 2023 and plans to invest $6.6 billion in its operations this year. Crude and condensate production is expected to increase to 2 million barrels a day by year-end, helped by improved security measures to combat oil theft. The Nigerian Stock Exchange extended its bearish trend for the 6th consecutive trading session, losing 1.6 trillion naira in market capitalization. The all shares in African Prudential were among the losers, falling by 9.76% and 9.68% respectively. Guarantee Trust Holding toppled the trading volume chart with 59.3 million shares exchanged, followed by Wema Bank Access Holdings and United Bank for Africa. The NSE has now lost 847.03 billion naira in the last 2 weeks due to sustained sell-offs. The Association Executive Director of Research and Advocacy, Sunday Odutan, stated that some states owe electricity bills consumed by the State House or Secretariat. Odutan lamented that government agencies are used to free electricity and have refused to adjust since the sector was privatized. He recalled that the Aso Rock Villa owed electricity bills before President Bola Tinubu ordered payment. Face challenges in recovering debts from state governments, with some states sealing their offices over claims of unpaid taxes. Odutan advised schools to pay their taxes but warned states against mischief. He promised to make the list of indebted states public soon. Some states owe significant amounts while others do not delay payment. Odutan appealed to states and Nigerians to pay their bills regularly to transform the sector. He noted that things are getting better, but there is still a long way to go. The issue of electricity debt is not new, but with several instances of discos disconnecting power supply to government facilities over unpaid bills, only for the state to seal off the discos offices over claims of unpaid taxes. Odutan's appeal for prompt payment of electricity bills is crucial. The increased digital transaction, electronic payment transactions, and growing investor confidence reflect the sector's potential to drive economic growth and development. The SOE 2024 report has developed with contributions from enterprise NGRs, member organizations, and leveraged data from various institutions, including the National Bureau of Statistics and the Central Bank of Nigeria. The report demonstrates enterprise NGR's dedication to providing evidence to showcase the critical role of the FPS sector in Nigeria's economy. President Bola Tinubu has appointed a new management team for the Niger Delta Power Holding Company, NDPHC. The presidency announced the appointment in a statement signed by Tinubu's special advisor on media and publicity, Ajiru Ngalale. The new management team includes Jennifer Adigeji of Corporate Services. Other members of the team are Omololu Agoro as Executive Director of Finance and Accounts, Omoregie Obede Ihama as Executive Director of Strategy and Commercial, and Stephen Azenge as Executive Director of Legal Services. The new NDPHC CEO, Jennifer Adigeji, holds a master's degree in wireless network and telecommunications from Queen Mary University of London and a bachelor's degree in electrical electronics engineering from the University of Lagos. President Tinubu expects the new management team to deploy their expertise and experience to drive NDPHC's mandate of effectiveness driven by the Ogun State Economic Transformation Project and supported by the World Bank to stimulate economic growth and development. Abiodun hailed the achievement of producing locally grown rice as a milestone toward food security, creation of employment opportunities, and improving livelihood. The 200-hectare rice farm is cultivated by 200 farmers, primarily women and youths, who were allocated 1 hectare each. The project commenced in April and has yield of 7 metric tons per hectare, potentially translating to 1,400 metric tons of milled rice. Abiodun projected that the rice farm could generate 3 billion naira in revenue annually, and if scaled up to 200 hectares, could generate 30 billion naira. He emphasized that the agricultural sector intervention will offer support to farmers, including advanced techniques, quality seeds, modern irrigation systems, and technical training at a 65% discount on mechanization costs. The project goal is to produce high-quality rice and positively impact citizens across various sectors. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPC Limited, has clarified that it has not paid fuel subsidies to anyone in the last 9 months. Chief Financial Officer Alhaji Umar Ajia made a statement in Abuja emphasizing that NNPC Limited only handles premium motor spirit importation shortfalls. Ajia explained that the company imports PMS at a specific cost price, but the government instructs them to sell it at a lower price, resulting in a shortfall. He stated that this shortfall is reconciled between the Federation and NNPC Limited, with no marketers receiving subsidy payments. Ajia also highlighted that credit lines are common in downstream business globally. NNPCL has an open credit agreement supplies received. He assured that NNPC is available nationwide. The Chinese government has distanced itself from the legal dispute between the Ogun State government and Zhoushan Funcheng Industrial Investment Company Limited over the seizure and release of the Nigerian's presidential aircraft. The Chinese embassy in Nigeria stated that Chinese companies are private enterprise and do not belong to the Chinese government. The presidency confirmed the purchase and delivery of a new Airbus A330 business jet, which President Bola Tinubu flew from Abuja to Paris, France. The jet replaced the 19-year-old Boeing B737-700 bought under former President Olusegun Obasanjo's tenure. The Senate President Godswill Akpabio refuted claims that the Senate approved the purchase of the presidential jet, stating that lawmakers would approve requests that benefit the Nigerian people. The purchase of the jet was justified by the presidency, describing Peter Obi's comment as insensitive. Former principal officers in the Nigerian Senate berated the federal government for purchasing the jet from the service-wide votes, criticizing the secrecy surrounding the votes. Civil society organizations also condemned the purchase, stating that there must be checks and balances to prevent extra budgetary spending. The Chinese firm Zhoushan Funcheng Industrial Investment Company Limited released one of the 3 presidential aircraft seized in France as a gesture of goodwill, referencing a scheduled meeting between President Tinubu and his French counterpart, Emmanuel Macron. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, has issued a weather alert predicting 3 days of rainfall across the Federal Capital Territory and 17 other states. The agency forecasted thunderstorms and rainfall from Monday to Wednesday, with daytime thunderstorms expected in parts of Kano, Katsina, Zamfara, Jigawa, Kaduna, Taraba, and Bauchi states. Intermediate rains are expected in the north-central region in hours. Later in the day, thunderstorms and intermediate rains are anticipated over parts of the Federal Capital Territory, Plateau, Nasarawa, and Kogi states. In the southern region, intermediate rains are expected in parts of Cross River and Akwa Ibom State, with a slight chance of drizzling in some areas during the morning hours. Thunderstorms are expected over parts of Bauchi, Kaduna, Kebbi, Gombe, and Yobe states in the afternoon to evening hours. NIMET advised the public to take necessary precautions and adhere to safety advisories issued by relevant authorities, as strong winds may precede the rains in areas where thunderstorms are likely to occur. Airline operators were also advised to utilize weather reports for better planning. Residents were urged to avoid flood-prone areas due to anticipated heavy downpours, particularly in major cities. The agency's weather forecast is intended to help the public prepare for the expected rainfall and take necessary measures to ensure their safety. The federal government has launched a groundbreaking dollar-dominated domestic bond, offering a unique investment opportunity for Nigerians and international investors. The bond, worth $500 million, has an interest rate of 9.75% per annum and a tenure of 5 years, maturing in 2029. The bond is instructed as a 5-year investment and with coupon payments made semi-annually. Investors can purchase units at a minimum of $1,000 each, with an initial minimum subscription set at $10,000, 10 units. Subsequent investment can be made in multiples of $1,000. Eligible investors include Nigerian residents, individuals with savings abroad, Nigerians in diaspora, and qualified institutional investors. The offer has an opening date of August 19th and a closing date of August 30th, as a settlement date of September 6th. 2024, giving investors a sufficient window to participate in this offering. The federal government has barred prospective investors from making investment payments through cash. Instead, payments shall only be made through banking system and electronic transfers into designated accounts. This bond offers a medium-term investment opportunity with stable returns and semi-annual coupon payments. The federal government aims to raise funds through this bond auction, providing investors with a unique opportunity to diversify their portfolios. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has released its 2023 audited financial statement, declaring a record net profit of 3.297 trillion naira for the financial year ended December 2023. This represents an increase of over 700 million naira, 28% compared to the 2022 profit of 2.548 trillion naira. The Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Umar Ajia, attributed the impressive performance to strategic foresight and operational resilience, despite inherent challenges. He emphasized NNPC's commitment to transparency, accountability, and sustaining profitability to support national energy security. The chairman of NNPC Limited Board, Chief Pius Akinyolu, credited the excellent performance to the Petroleum Industry Act 2021, the board's commitment, and the staff's hard work. Shareholders have approved a final dividend of 2.1 trillion naira in line with PIA 2021 provisions. The company aims to increase crude oil production to 2 million barrels per day by year end, thanks to improvements in the fight against crude oil theft and pipeline vandalism. NNPC is also working to address distribution, evacuation, and logistics challenges causing fuel queues in parts of Lagos and Federal Capital Territory. This record profit declaration marks a significant milestone for NNPC, which has consistently improved its financial performance since 2020, turning around from a loss position of 803 billion naira in 2018 to a profit of 3.297 trillion naira in 2023. African Export-Import Bank, Afreximbank, has reported a significant increase in its gross income, rising to $1.47 billion in the first half of 2024 compared to $1.12 billion in 2023. This growth is attributed to a 24.5% increase in net interest income, driven by expansion in the bank's loan and advance portfolio. Total fees and commission income also grew by 20.07%. He emphasized the bank's role in implementing the African Continental Free Trade Area and fostering economic integration, industrialization, and trade across the continent. Shareholders approved a dividend of $264.6 million and other appropriation amounting to $50 million to support concessionary funding at the Afreximbank annual general meeting held in June 2024. This demonstrated the bank's commitment to delivering value to its shareholders while supporting Africa's economic development. Afreximbank's financial performance and strategic initiatives position is to play a central role in driving Africa's economic growth and integration, leveraging its healthy financial position and commitment to operational excellence. We are open for advert placement, bookings, and commercials. Stay connected on ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, X formerly Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. The Consulate General of the Federal Republic of Germany in Lagos, Wietz Bonner, has announced a significant increase in trade volume between Nigeria and Germany, reaching $3 billion in 2023. This growth is a testament to the strengthening economic ties between the two nations. Nigeria benefited more from the trade pact, with crude oil and food product exports to Germany valued at $2 billion. In contrast to Germany's export to Nigeria, mainly machinery and chemicals, totaled $1 billion. This trade balance highlights Nigeria's potential for economic growth and development. The 11th German-Nigerian Business Forum, scheduled for October in Lagos, aims to further boost economic cooperation between the two countries. The forum will bring together high-ranking representatives from the Nigerian and German Republic and private sectors to discuss key issues and explore opportunities for partnerships. Industry experts will lead panel discussions on critical sectors such as agribusiness, energy, construction, and technical vocational education and training. The forum will provide a platform for Nigerian and German businesses to connect, share ideas, and drive growth. The West African Clean Energy Environment exhibition and conference, also taking place in October, will showcase innovative solutions and technologies in the clean energy and environment sector, with reduced prices for Nigerian companies. The event aims to attract a diverse range of participants and foster investment in the region. The average price of petrol has reached 1,000 naira per litre at some filling stations and black markets in Lagos as scarcity spreads across Nigeria. Filling stations in various LCDAs in Lagos sold petrol between 830 naira and 900 naira per litre, while black market retailers hiked their prices to 1,200 to 1,400 naira per litre. In Abuja, petrol stations sold between 617 and 980 per litre, while black market sold a 10-litre gallon for 10,000 naira. Many NNPC retail stations remained locked despite the company's announcement for a new peak in crude oil production. The National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) reported a significant rise in the average retail price of petrol, reaching 770.54 naira per litre in July 2024. Regional disparities were evident, with northern states experiencing the highest increases in petrol prices. The Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria (IPMAN) attributed the situation to panic buying, while the Nigerian Midstream Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority warned marketers against selling petrol to black marketers. NNPC blamed logistics challenges for the supply shortages. The fuel scarcity has exacerbated the already dire situation, with long queues at filling stations becoming a common sight. Despite assurances from NNPC, the situation has deteriorated, with prices soaring and marketers facing warnings and threats of license withdrawal. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has pledged 221,000 barrels of crude per day to offset its $6.55 billion debt incurred in 2023. The company's audited financial statements revealed that the debt includes $1 billion for the rehabilitation of the Port Harcourt refinery, $1 billion for the acquisition of Dangote refinery equity stake, and $3.3 billion for forex stabilization. The NPCL's financial statements showed a total revenue of 23.99 trillion naira for 2023, with total assets valued at 246.8 trillion naira. The company's gross profit was 7 trillion naira, operating profit was 4.34 trillion naira, and profit after tax stood at 3.3 trillion naira. Pius Akunyelure, chairman of the NNPC Limited board, announced a 3.3 trillion naira profit after tax for the 2023 fiscal year, with a 2.1 trillion naira dividend for shareholders. The company paid royalties worth 2.15 trillion naira and taxes, levies, and statutory deductions amounting to 2.6 trillion naira. Umar Ajiya, Chief Financial Officer, highlighted the company's improved productivity and financial performance despite operational and economic challenges. He noted that NNPCL will announce an initial public offer once shareholders and the board make a decision. Orishemi Yiwa Eisan, Executive Vice President, Upstream, stated that NNPCL is targeting 2 million barrels per day crude oil production by the end of the year, thanks to improvements in the war against crude oil theft and pipeline vandalism. You are watching ATN Business and Atlantic Television Network. We will be back after this break. Welcome back to Atn Business and Atlantic Television Network. Now to the rest of our stories. Singapore's government has introduced measures to calm the public housing resale market. The loan-to-value limit for Housing Development Board (HDB) loans will be lowered from 80% to 75% starting Tuesday. This change brings HDB loans in line with financial institutions' loan limit. The move aims to discourage excessive borrowing and stabilize the market. The government also announced an increase in the enhanced CPF housing grants for eligible first-time buyers. The grant will increase by up to $40,000 with a maximum of $120,000. The measures aim to make housing more affordable for lower to middle income first-time home buyers. Authorities stress that these buyers will be less effective by the new loan limit due to significant housing grants. Prices of Singapore's resale homes rose by over 4% in the first half of the year, driven by strong demand and tight supply. The government is addressing housing affordability concerns, with Prime Minister Lawrence Wong highlighting efforts to cool prices in his National Day rally speech. The median price of a 3-bedroom resale HDB flat in Singapore's central area costs $500,000. Over 80% of Singapore's residents live in public housing flats. The acquisition of Hawaiian Airlines have cleared a significant hurdle, paving the way for a potential merger. The U.S. Justice Department's period for investigating the deal has ended without a lawsuit to block it. The $1.9 billion agreement, announced 8 months ago, aims to combine the two carriers under a single platform. This would create a more than 360 airplane fleet covering over 130 destinations, with each carrier maintaining its brand. The deal's progress commenced after the DOJ won a court ruling in January blocking JetBlue Airways' acquisition of Spirit Airlines. Last year, the DOJ also undid a partnership between JetBlue and American Airlines in the Northeast. Hawaiian Airlines has faced numerous challenges, including the Maui wildfire, increased competition from Southwest Airlines, and a slower recovery of travel to and through Asia after the COVID-19 pandemic. Despite posting net losses in all but one quarter since 2020, executives report improving booking trends. The merger would be the largest combination of U.S. carriers since Alaska merged with Virgin American 8 years ago. However, the deal still requires approval from the U.S. Transportation Department before it can close. The Justice Department and Transportation Department have not commented on the development. Hawaiian shares have risen almost 12% this quarter, outperforming other airline shares, which have largely dropped. The global commodities market has been volatile this year, with prices remaining largely elevated. Orange juice and cocoa futures surged to record highs in the first half of the year, while crude oil prices fluctuated with headlines from the Middle East. Gold prices continue to rise, but base metals like iron ore slipped considerably. Sabrine Chaudhuri, Director and Head of Commodities Analysts at BMI, notes that commodity markets have been sentiment-driven and fickle, reacting to small changes in hope and disappointment. The S&P GSCI, a benchmark of the overall commodity market's performance, rose as much as 12% in April from the start of year, before tapering off to a 2.18% climb year-to-date. Orange juice futures surged to a record in May and are currently hovering around historically high levels of 4.49% pound on ICE. Production declines in Florida and climate-fueled adverse weather in Brazil have pushed the industry into crisis mode. Global orange juice production is set to decline for the 5th season, keeping prices elevated for at least the next 12 months. Rubber prices have surged nearly 30% since the start of the year due to production declines in Thailand and Indonesia. Coffee futures have jumped 25% year-to-date due to adverse weather conditions in coffee-growing regions in southeast Brazil. El Nino-induced production challenges in Southeast Asia have caused crop declines in key production regions, Vietnam and Indonesia. Iron ore prices declined the most among commodities as China's property sector remains weak, leading to low demand. Worsening steel mill margins in China also played a part in keeping prices low. Grains such as wheat, corn, and soybeans saw significant slumps due to a bumper crop year across the northern hemisphere. Despite volatility, the global commodities market remains elevated and is expected to remain so. Gold prices have rallied to record highs, propelled by U.S. interest rate cut expectations and safe haven demand. BMI's Chaudhuri forecasts prices to be supported by a weakening U.S. dollar and expects industrial metals to lose out further due to weak demand from China. European stocks are expected to open in mixed territory today as market uncertainty lingers over the outlook for interest rate cuts. Investors are eagerly waiting key Federal Reserve events this week for clarity on future rates decisions. The UK's FTSE index is predicted to open 28 points lower at 8,334, while Germany's DAX is expected to remain flat at 18,426. France's CAC 40 is forecast to dip 6 points to 7,499, and Italy's FTSE MIB is expected to rise by 6 points to 33,368. Global markets will be focused on the Federal Reserve's upcoming events, including the release of minutes from its most recent meeting on Wednesday and Fed Chair Jerome Powell's speech in Jackson Hole, Wyoming on Friday. This event could provide valuable insight into the outlook for interest rate cuts. The likelihood of a 25 basic points rate cut in September is currently priced at around 76%, according to Fed Futures Fund. Investors will be closely watching the Fed's decision for guidance on future monetary policy. In other markets news, Asia-Pacific markets were mostly up on Tuesday, tracking the Wall Street rally on Monday. Investors also assessed minutes from the Reserve Bank of Australia's latest meeting. Data released in Europe today include Germany's Producer Price Index, the latest monetary policy decision from Sweden's central bank, and the EU's final year-on-year inflation rate. These releases would provide further insight into the European economy and influence market sentiment. This is where we wrap it up on this edition of ATN Business.